Have you ever stood on a windswept beach, staring out at the horizon where the ocean meets the sky, and wondered about the stories those waves carry? That moment when a rusted hull emerges from the mist, silent and abandoned, like a whisper from a forgotten era? It's the kind of sight that sends a shiver down your spine, making you question what tragedies or mysteries left it there. Welcome back to Factopia, your haven for those haunting tales that linger long after the telling. And with Halloween's fog rolling in, we're setting sail into the top 10 ghost ships washed up on American shores. These aren't just wrecks gathering barnacles. They're vessels with eerie histories, pulled from maritime records, eyewitness accounts, and 2025 investigations that keep drawing divers and historians alike. From phantom crews vanishing without a trace to hulls defying the tides for decades, we'll count down the ships that still haunt U.S. coastlines, blending fact with the fog of legend. If you're drawn to the sea's secrets, like those stories that make you glance over your shoulder at the water's edge, give this a thumbs up now and subscribe with notifications on for our daily October explorations. Grab a cozy spot, maybe away from the window if the wind's howling, and let's drift into these tales, but watch the horizon. You never know what might wash up next. Starting at number 10, the Peter Iredale, wrecked on the Oregon coast near Warrenton in 1906, its skeletal remains still jutting from Clatsop Spit like a forgotten sentinel. This British four-masted barque was bound for Portland when thick fog and strong currents drove it aground. The crew of 27 safely evacuated, but the ship left to the mercy of the Pacific. Over a century later, in 2025, erosion from rising seas has exposed more of its rusted bow, drawing ghost hunters who report whispers of "help us," carried on the wind, and shadowy figures pacing the dunes at dusk. Local archives hold captain's logs describing a cursed mist that blinded them, and recent drone footage shows unexplained lights flickering around the wreck at night. Skeptics blame the crashing waves for the sounds, but stand there as the tide rises, the iron groaning like it's alive. It's enough to make you back away slowly. Number 9. The Francisco Morazan, stranded on South Manitou Island in Lake Michigan since 1960, a twisted hulk that's become a diver's Eerie playground. This Liberian freighter was carrying chicken feed when fog and ice let it onto the shoals. The crew rescued by Coast Guard, but the ship left to rot, slowly breaking apart in the freshwater grave. In 2025, National Park Service surveys revealed preserved cabins below, with reports of banging noises and cold spots that drain dive gear batteries. Archived Coast Guard logs note the captain's frantic radio calls about ghost lights, guiding them wrong, and recent EVP sessions captured voices saying, "Abandoned ship." It's that isolation, the island's remoteness amplifying every creak that gets under your skin. Imagine plunging into those depths, the wreck looming like a predator. Lake Michigan keeps its secrets deep. At number 8, the SS Dominator, smashed against the rocks of Palos Verdes Peninsula in California back in 1961. Its scattered pieces a haunting reminder along the sunny coast. Laden with wheat, this Greek freighter hit fog and ran aground. The crew airlifted, but the hull splintering over years into beach debris. 2025's low tides exposed more wreckage, with hikers reporting apparitions of sailors waving from the cliffs, vanishing when approached. Maritime archives hold survivor accounts of a spectral foghorn leading them astray, and night photos show orbs hovering over the rust. Locals call it cursed, tied to earlier wrecks in the area. Picture picnicking nearby, the waves lapping at metal bones. California's glamour hides dark undercurrents. Number 7. The Mahukona, sunk off the Big Island of Hawaii in 1915, its boiler and debris littering the shore like volcanic relics. This steamship struck a reef, crew saved but cargo lost, now a snorkel site where divers hear underwater bells tolling with no source. In 2025, marine archaeologists uncovered personal items, sparking reports of ghostly swimmers circling visitors. Hawaiian legends tie it to angered spirits of the sea, and archived logs describe phantom reefs appearing from nowhere. It's that tropical paradise twist, the warm waters hiding cold dread. Dip your toes in and you might feel a tug from below. Number 6. The Henrietta Marie, a slave ship wrecked off Key West, Florida. In 1700, its shackles and artifacts now in museums, but the site still whispering horrors. Carrying enslaved Africans, it sank after unloading, over 100 lost. 2025 dives recovered more chains, with reports of moans echoing through the water and shadows fleeing lights. National archives hold manifests listing the lost, fueling debates on restless souls. The creep factor? Divers feel watched, equipment failing at depth. Florida's keys gleam, but this wreck's legacy drowns the light. Halfway through number 5, the city of Adelaide, grounded on Cockspur Island near Savannah, Georgia. In 1874, its hull a mossy ruin in the marshes. This clipper ship caught fire and beached. Crew escaped, but the vessel left to decay. 2025 surveys showed preserved timbers, with ghost hunters capturing EVPs of fire below amid the Spanish moss. Local lore speaks of fiery apparitions at twilight, and archived newspapers detail the blaze's mysterious start. Georgia's humidity thickens the air, making every rustle feel alive. The South's history clings like vines. Number 4. The Tinmouth Electron, washed up on a Miami beach, Florida. In 1969, after the Golden Globe race, its sails tattered and cabin empty. Sailor Donald Crowhust faked his logs, likely jumping overboard in madness. Found drifting, then beached, 2025 restorations revealed hidden compartments with desperate notes. Visitors report a man's voice muttering coordinates, and marine logs note the ship's unnatural path. Miami's sun beats down, but this trimaran's shadow chills, a race to nowhere. Number 3. The Ryou-Un, a Japanese fishing boat that drifted to Alaska's shores in 2012 after the tsunami, empty and adrift for a year. Swept from Japan, it washed up near Sitka, no crew, just barnacles and silence. Coast Guard sank it, but 2025 dives on similar debris reported, echoing cries underwater. Archives hold tracking data showing impossible speeds, tied to ocean currents or something more. Alaska's wilderness swallows secrets, This ghost from across the Pacific haunting the coast. Number 2. The SS Baychimo, the Arctic trader that broke free in Alaska in 1931, drifting ghost-like for 38 years before vanishing. Trapped in ice off Barrow, crew abandoned it, but it floated free, sighted repeatedly washing near shores, empty decks inviting boarders who fled strange noises. Last seen in 1969, 2025 Inuit oral histories describe the ship that lives, with growls from the hold. Hudson's Bay Company archives detail failed salvages, the North's eternal wanderer. And claiming number 1, the Carol A. Deering, run aground on Diamond Shoals, North Carolina. In 1921, sails set but crew gone, dinner on the stove. This 5-masted schooner from Brazil, found with lifeboats missing, logs torn out except we are boarded by pirates. Theories range from mutiny to Bermuda Triangle. 2025 sonar scans revealed nearby anomalies and ghost hunters capture abandoned ship EVPs. Coast Guard archives hold the mystery unsolved, the Outer Banks' silent sentinel. Phew, that's our voyage through the top 10 ghost ships washed up on American shores, vessels where the sea's tails refuse to sink. Which one's waves crash hardest for you? Drop your thoughts or seaside stories in the comments. I read them all. If this sailed you into the spooky, like, share, subscribe to Factopia. Thanks for riding the tide. Stay ashore if the fog rolls in, and see you tomorrow.